The chair will call this meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Before we start with our business, I want to make two statements. My first statement is as follows. I mistakenly stated at the Board of Zoning Appeals meeting on Thursday, November 5, that the board had been advised by the city's legal department that the board could require a person to identify him or herself prior to recording a meeting. The city solicitor did not actually provide such advice to the board. I informed the public at an earlier meeting of the board on October 22nd that a person wishing to record our meeting was not required to identify him or herself. After that meeting, I had a conversation with a colleague in which I mistakenly formed the impression that a person was required to identify him or herself prior to recording our meeting. My statement at the November 5 meeting was as a result of that conversation. I now know that I misunderstood that conversation and that my statement on November 5 was incorrect. I did not intend to mislead the public or cause any harm, and this mistake will not be repeated. My second statement is, under the open meeting law, I will state that after notifying the chair, any person may make a video or audio recording of our open sessions or may transmit the meeting through any medium, subject to reasonable requirements that the chair may impose as to the number, placement, and operation of equipment used so as not to interfere with the conduct of the meeting. At the beginning of the meeting, the chair will inform other attendees at that meeting that a recording is being made. And I would report to those in the audience that a recording is being made. There's a tape recorder right here. And I've been notified by the person putting that device there, and that this meeting is being videotaped, and I've been notified by the person who's doing the videotaping. I would also point out that it's been our practice since God knows how long to maintain a transcript of our meetings, a full transcript. And stenographer is right here. That transcript, by the way, is available at some point later on the city's website. But in doing her stenography or transcribing, she records as well, so to assist herself when she ultimately types up the transcript. So we have two recordings, audio recordings, one video taping. End of my statements. First order of business is I would inform the board, although I think the board is already aware, that there is an open meeting law complaint from Xavier Dietrich that has been filed with the Attorney General's office. The City Solicitor's office has prepared a response on behalf of the board, and that response has been distributed or made available to all board members. I'm going to ask for a vote to approve that response. If people want to discuss the response and don't want to vote right away, then we will go into executive session to discuss the response. Does anyone want to discuss the response, or are you ready for a vote on it? We're ready for a vote. I move that this board approve the response prepared by the city's legal department on behalf of this board with regard to the an open meeting law complaint submitted made by Xavier Dietrich in the form that was previously distributed to the board. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Aye in favor. Motion carries. Next, I'm going to suggest that we go into executive session. I'm going to propose that we go into executive session to discuss a request for minutes of prior executive sessions of this board. Under the open meeting law.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, who was not voting in the 5 in favor?
I did not vote.
Okay.
Okay, so the vote still carried.
Right. It looked like I saw 6 hands.
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought I saw the
No,
vote.
my hand didn't go up.
So we have 4 votes.
Somebody might have put 2 hands up, but one of them wasn't mine.
Okay. Well, you've got all the votes. Okay. So as I said, I propose to go into executive session to discuss a request for past minutes of executive sessions. I move that we go into executive session. Immediately following the executive session, we'll resume our regular meeting or general meeting. Under the open meeting law, we have to have a roll call vote on the motion to go into executive session. I vote in favor of going into executive session.
I'm in favor.
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 We have 5 in favor, so we're ready to go into executive session.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. Did you state the, which purpose executive session that was, and that it would be detrimental to, what is the language? That disclosure would be to the detriment of the board's position?
Yeah, we have, as we did in the last time with executive sessions, we have executive session meetings, and then we have the minutes, which have to be reviewed by us, and then submitted to the city's legal department.
Right, no, I understand in practice. I just wanted to confirm that you satisfied the technical requirement. But it's just a technical requirement.
Okay,
So,
I hope I satisfy the technical.
in principle, clearly.
So, I think we're ready to go into executive session. I would ask all the attendees to leave the meeting and leave just for the legal department and members of the board.